afraid of 7, cause 7, 8, 9.
Hi, I'm outside again to talk a little bit about integers. And before we did the integer number line, where we showed that the integers, all the whole numbers from 0 and on, and then their opposites that go and they went on forever. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about how we can put those numbers together. So it'd be like adding these numbers, integers, because it gets kind of interesting about how that works. So the first thing I'm going to have to do is I am going to have to make a number line. So I made my number line, and now when we're talking about adding numbers, adding integers, it's really not that bad. It's kind of like this. So in regular numbers, if we're adding them, what you do is like if I'm adding 1, I'm going to add 1 plus 2 would be like adding 1 and I'm taking 2 more onto it. So I'm like adding 2 onto it and I get 3 because I'm adding a number and then I'm adding like a positive, or like really I'm moving in the positive direction too. So 2 plus 3 would be like, I'm starting at 2 and I'm adding 3 in the positive direction to that. So that'd be like, okay, I'm going in positive direction, 1, 2, 3. So 2 plus 3 equals 5. Now it gets a little bit different when you go into negative numbers, but not that much. So for us, we did 2 plus 3 equals 5. It means start at 2 and move 3 in the positive direction. But if I did negative 4 plus 3, what that means is I start at negative 4 and I'm going to move 3 in a positive direction. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to end up at negative 1. So negative 4 plus 3 equals negative 1. So the first number that we have, that's where you're starting. And really, you're just moving in whatever direction it says. So if it's positive, we're moving in positive direction. Works the same way for negatives. So if I started at 4, and I'm going to add negative 2. So I could say 4 plus negative 2. So 4 plus negative 2. So I'm going 4, and I'm moving 2 in the negative direction. 1, 2. I'm going to end up at 2. So 4 plus negative 2 equals 2. Now some of you might be saying like, well, isn't that the same as 4 minus 2? You get the same answer. It doesn't quite mean the same thing. So you'd start at the first number, and I'm going to move 2 spaces in the negative direction. That's what it tells me. What happens over here, if I started at negative 2, and I'm going to go 3 in the negative direction, so negative 2 plus negative 3, I'm going to end up in negative 2, and I'm going to negative 3, so 3 spaces to the negative 1, 2, 3. 3 spaces to the negative will give me negative 5. So that's what adding integers really means. It really is just the first number, you start there, and you move whatever direction it is. Now, some of them are going to be a little bit different in the middle, only because I might start at 1, and I am going to go negative 3. So I'm starting at 1, and I'm going to go negative 3. So now I'm at 1, but I'm going negative 3, so I actually go below 0. So it's 1, 2, 3. I'll end up at negative 2. So starting, if I'm going below 0, it's perfectly fine. That's just kind of saying, like, okay, it's 1 degree out, and it gets 3 degrees colder. What's the new temperature? So you would be like 1, and then 3 degrees colder would be negative 2. On the other side of it, if you adding, we'll do the same type of thing. So if I had negative 2 plus 6, what that really means is I'm starting at negative 2, and I'm going to move 6 in the positive direction, which gets bigger than 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll end up at 4. So negative 2 plus 6, moving in positive direction, will be negative 4. And if you think about that as temperature, so it's 2 degrees below 0, it gets 6 degrees warmer. 2 degrees to get to 0, and 4 more degrees will give you the 6. So you'll end up at 4 degrees above 0. Hopefully that makes sense.
Oh, that's where you were.
Oh yeah, I found some marshmallows in the cupboard.
Did you get new clothes?
Oh yeah.
Are those my backpacking clothes?
Yeah, it is your, yeah, it's your clothes. I didn't think you'd mind. Didn't you realize this is your hat too? Next time, can I do one? Maybe, I know how to do subtracting integers. Can I do one like that?
Sure, if you want to give it a try.